Okay, so that was different. We have some business to attend to, but first off, I just wanted to explain the stick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the very last hockey stick that Wayne Gretzky ever used as an Edmonton Oiler. This is the last stick that he was holding when he won his fourth and final Stanley Cup back in 1988. Right after that, everything changed. The very next year, he went to Los Angeles and expanded the NHL throughout the United States. But at that point, it was the beginning of the end of something. Fourth Stanley Cup, he'd been with those people forever, and then everything changed the next year. I wanted to hold on to it because Wayne Gretzky has become something of a personal hero of mine over the last 2 years. And Wayne Gretzky's father, Walter Gretzky, who became a friend of mine, is a guy I like very much, gave his son a piece of advice when he was a kid, because his father was his hockey teacher. Took him out on the river out behind his grandmother's house, strapped skates on him, and would train him all the time. Then there was a backyard rink that he'd flood his backyard, train his kid there as well. The piece of advice that Walter Gretzky gave Wayne Gretzky was this, and I've been using it for the last 2 years now. Don't go where the puck's been. Go where it's going to be. The philosophy was simple. If you puck chase, you're always going to be behind the game. But if you kind of know where the puck's going to wind up, or if you study, if you watch the game enough, you want to be the person that's where the puck's going to be, not scrumming in the fucking corner, but ready to take your shot. Ladies and gentlemen, 17 years ago, I came to this festival and took my shot, and it was amazing. My life changed in an evening. Everything fucking changed. And from that moment forward, we kept pretty busy working. We came back here a couple of years after Clerks with Chasing Amy, and that was nice because I had made Clerks, then I made Mallrats, and everyone hated Mallrats for some reason. Then I came back here with Chasing Amy, and everyone was like, good job, you're back. And I got pats on the back and stuff like that. And I was like, whew, my career is saved. Last movie I made was a cop-out. So naturally, I had to get back here fucking quick. And this is the movie I came with. Now, as you can see, this is a labor of love. As I said before, we're talking about September 21st is when we started shooting. And we're talking about a budget of less than $4 million. A little hair under. We'll open up, you'll be able to see the exact figure later on, but it's a little hair under $4 million. I was pretty proud of that. And we did it quick, shot it about 25 days. 4 months later, we're here. While we were making that movie, I was assisted by a zillion Gretzkys on my crew. Everyone there cinched the belts to pull it off. We're up at the Sundance Film Festival, so this is not an uncommon story. When you're passionate about something, everyone feels it and kind of jumps in if they dig the project enough. I don't think I would have gotten the same kind of cooperation on Cop Out, but I certainly got it on this movie in a big bad way, and it was moving. People just didn't fucking get paid. Some cats, I was one, but some cats didn't get paid. Some cats took well below their rate. And everyone was there, you know, we had late nights and shit. It's the same old independent story that you've heard a zillion fucking times. We were all in it for the love. And I love that, man. I've been in this business 17 years now, making films, good or bad, for that long. And I've made this my 10th flick. And in that time, I've learned a few things. Like when I was here originally, the most important thing in the world that I could do was sell my movie. So this time was the first independent flick I made since Clerks. The first time that somebody else didn't pay for the movie. Well, I mean, we had investors, but no studio paid for the movie. It was scary because I was like, okay, we're going to go up there, do what we're supposed to do, make the movie, bring it up, sell the movie. That's what you do. And I started thinking about the math. It's a $4 million movie. And if we sell it to a distributor, let's say it's about, maybe we get 4, maybe we get 6 if we're fucking lucky. Things don't seem to be going for the happy Texas dollars anymore up here. So let's say it's about 4 million. Let's say we get 6. We're real lucky. If Artie goes ape shit, here's 6. Let me go back to the Jets game. Let's say we get 6. movie like this, essentially, when they go out there in the world with it, they put $20 million in marketing on it. There's what they call in this business the Lionsgate 20 million. It's not a mark that, it's not slammed by any stretch of measures. It's just like, hey, Lionsgate. Lionsgate is a standard $20 million, man. They just kind of spend about $20 million on all their movies, and they worked it out to their average. Works out very nicely for them. So then I sat there going, okay, budget's $4 million. Then they give us, let's say we get 6 for it. Suddenly we got to make back $6 million before I'll feel okay. I'm a Catholic, raised Catholic. I carry a lot of guilt about borrowing people's money. So at that point, essentially, we got to make not the $4 million that we made the movie for, but then, now 6 to pay back if we got $6 million from somebody. Then they put the $20 million on top of it, and that's $26 million the movie's now got to make. But it's okay, we probably didn't fucking $26 million, we try hard enough. But we all know that's not the case, because all that money doesn't go back to a studio or a distributor or anything like that. So essentially, you then have to make $50 million, double that $26 million, a little under the double number, in order to just get into the profit line. This is one of the things that I've learned in 17 years. Ladies and gentlemen, I never wanted to know jack shit about business. I'm a fat, masturbating stoner, That's why I got into the movie business. It seemed like the place where fat, masturbating stoners went. And if somebody had told me at the beginning of my career, you're going to have to learn so much about business, finance, amortization, all this shit, monetization, I would have been like, fuck it, I'm just going to stay home, smoke, and masturbate, because that's too much work, man. If somebody told me all the stupid, horseshit, soul-killing, uncreative, backwards-ass bullshit business that I now have in my head, that I've pushed out creative things to make way for, like, okay, we're going to take the movie out, it has to be a 4-quadrant movie. It has to play here, 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 and here. If we do that, then we're going to look at this money coming in, half of that goes back. Don't forget the revenue stream with DVDs. Too much fucking horseshit. I just want to tell fucking stories. So... this is what I've been thinking. When they spend that $20 million, generally they spend it to get attention. They spend it to get people in to see the movie. But in our case, we will have spent $4 million, and then someone else will spend $20 million marketing it. And that's 5 times the amount of money that we actually had to make the movie. I could have used $20 million making this movie, as you can see. We could have used some more cash. Looks fantastic, but that's a $4 million movie. If I had 20 to make the movie, everyone would have got paid. Nobody would have had to take, fucking low salary or no salary whatsoever. People could have stayed in nice places. But we didn't. We cinched our belts and we all did it together to pull it in for the $4 million, just so that when all was said and done, it was a low budget and we could hopefully sell it for, a bunch of money and everyone be happy and happily ever after at the end. It just doesn't really kind of work like that anymore, man. For me, the idea of spending 5 times, giving somebody else 5 times the amount of the budget for the movie that we all collectively made, tried our asses off real hard, just seems obscene. Why the fuck does it cost 5 times the amount of the cost of this movie to open the movie? Like, it's a big enough hurdle to find money to make a movie. And then when it's all said and done, they're like, that's nothing compared to what you're going to spend, because the model came from the studios. Studio model makes sense. You spend $100 million on a movie, you better spend 100 or 50 to 100 million marketing it this day and age. Because you're trying to build a franchise. That makes sense. And when studios started buying indies, that's when I got in the game. It was back when, Disney bought Miramax. So I came into a world of, like, we spend on movies. But Harvey was so fucking clever back then. The company had just been bought and shit like that, and he still had that fucking, like, I'm not going to spend money. Harvey would always tell us something that inspired me. He created a kind of brotherhood mentality at Miramax. And one of the things that he said, which always fucking got to me, was just like, he would look at other studios opening movies. Not just studios, but like the new lines and shit, like the fine lines, even back in the day. And whenever they would open well with like something that really wasn't that good, Harvey would literally just go, fuck, they just keep buying it. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, they just keep buying it. Anybody can buy the opening of a movie. It takes no talent to spend $20 million to make people aware of the fucking movie. Now you got to make that money back. And it's just like, yeah. And Harvey would always say, studio 30 million is like my 15 million. My 15 is like their 30. I know how to spend money. Because Harvey was very, very good and taught us very well how to release a film. We just paid attention from for many, many years and watched what he did. The man was a genius. He was amazing. He was an artist. And I just sat there and sucked it all in, me and John Gordon. Because John trained under Harvey. John was Harvey's assistant for years and years. So we called our company the Harvey Boys for Harvey, because he taught us everything we know. And one of the things that Harvey taught us is never give up a sure thing. Never give up a good thing, man. Hold on to it yourself. And the more I started thinking about that, compared to like, we gotta sell the movie and then go through the whole rigmarole of everything. Every time I've ever made a movie, it's the same fucking thing. We make it for a very small budget, somebody spends a shit ton of money in marketing it, and then I never see anything. Nobody ever sees any money ever again. They're just like, oh, it's still, we still gotta make our money back. It took 7 years for Clerks, a movie that cost $27,575 to go into profit. When that's happening, when you're spending 4 times, 5 times the amount to market a movie or open a movie than you are to make it, that's not an inspiring game at all. No kid can get into it now. I look at the fucking film world now and I'm like, there's no way I would have tried it. I wouldn't have tried Clerks today because it's impenetrable. Even if you're lucky enough to make a movie, how the fuck are you gonna open a movie? It takes so much fucking money and shit, so much time, effort, and everything is fetishized about that one fucking 3 days. They'll spend 30, 40, 50 million just for 3 fucking days. I spent 25 days working on this. I'm not gonna fucking sit there and bank everything on 3 days. Like, there's no point. Now, I've been doing some shit on the side for a few years now, aside from this movie nonsense. Then I've kind of built up a little audience of sorts. There's the Twitter thing, of course, but we have this Smodcast network of podcasts that we do. Online. And during that, we've built it up into a financial concern of some sort. It's a profitable little fun thing. It used to be a hobby. Now we make money off it. The 2 best or biggest, most heard or most listened to podcasts on the network pull in about 300,000 listeners per episode. Via that and via like Twitter, I've been able to sell out Carnegie Hall without spending a fucking dime in marketing. I've sold out the Sydney Opera House twice. I've sold out about 15, 19 theaters across this country this year after I got kicked off the airplane and started busting around and just getting on stage and crying about it. And in that time, man, I figured out, this is what it's all about to me. It's great we can all sit here in front of the movie, but this is the best part. Sitting there and talking to people afterwards. And that's something I'm used to doing. I do it on a podcast, I do it on Twitter all fucking day long, and I love to do it when we take the movie out on the road. And what I would like to keep doing is doing that. I had so much fun making this movie. I have had so much fun getting the movie ready for Sundance. Call it what you will. Marketing, spinning, fucking turning it into a circus. I did it from my fucking desk in my office while smoking joints and going, this might be fun, and it was a blast, and it was creative, and suddenly it was like, movie doesn't have to end when you make the movie. This makes no sense to me. After 17 years, I don't understand. It's like, I'm a parent now, so I can kind of think of things in terms of children and parents. It would be akin, selling my film is akin to having a baby and then handing it over to somebody else to raise. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to raise my kid. It's been 17 years I've been doing this. I've been out there in the world. I've been listening. I think I know how to fucking do this. So, I know a lot of cats that are in the audience waiting for an auction. I talked about I was going to pick my distributor in the room, auction style. I can't speak for the movie by myself. I'm not the only one. I'm just the writer-director. I would like John Gordon to come up here